Okay guys, today EA released All-Star Athletes Release 2 in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. Let's go ahead, look at all of the cards that dropped and let you guys know which cards are worth buying in Madden 25. Okay guys, so we're not going to talk about the 91s or the 89 overall cards because nobody really cares about those, to be honest. And if you do, stop caring about them. But starting off here, we've got the 95 overalls, which these are the out of position versions of the 98 overall cards that dropped. Starting off here, we've got DeForest Buckner, middle linebacker. Now, these prices on these guys have jumped up like 100k bare minimum for these 95s. They used to be around like 100k, now they're up to 200k, which is kind of ridiculous, but I mean, I get it. These cards are really good. But DeForest Buckner right here, he's going to be coming in with 94 base speed, 94 acceleration, 95 strength, 94 block shed, 92 hit power, and a 90 zone coverage. 6'7", 295 pounds, and that is him just at a 95 overall. You boost him up to a 98 overall by adding in another 98. He's going to be up to 96 base speed. And if you get up to 8 of these players in your lineup, you can actually have him as 6'9" because he is a 6'7" base card. Now, what I will say about this guy right here, he is a bigger guy. So if we go ahead and look at his change of direction stat, because I do not believe that it gets updated, it's only an 88. So unless that gets updated up to like a 94, 95 with this, that's going to be really hard to actually use him as a user. But as far as abilities go, he gets baked on 0 AP medium route KO, which is really, really nice. And of course, I ended up accidentally backing out of his card, so let's go ahead and go back into the card to hopefully show you. So he gets baked on medium route KO for 0 AP. After that, he gets secure tackler in this first slot for 0 AP. Other good abilities in here are going to be pick artist, mid zone KO for 1, lurk artist for 0, which is always good to have on a linebacker. Next slot is going to be all 1 AP abilities, or 1 AP discounted abilities anyways, besides tip drill for 0. But the same thing here, he gets some pass rushing abilities in here too. If you want to have him as an end, it just depends. You could put him in there in certain schemes, but edge threat, double or nothing, unpredictable on him there. Next slot is going to be some better abilities, I guess. Inside stuff on him, under pressure, tackle supreme. This is a really good one because it combines unfakeable with secure tackler, and it's going to only cost you 1 AP, which could be good there. Also acrobat, which I would say is a good ability, at least for somebody you may use her, because you can actually dive for the ball. And then these last 3 slots right here, some of them are going to have extra discounted abilities. Right here in this slot though, for good abilities, he gets enforcer for 0 AP, which is going to give you guaranteed hit sticks, or guaranteed tackles when you hit stick. Flat zone KO for 0, mid zone KO for 0, edge threat for 1, unpredictable for 0, and double or nothing for 1. And then the last 2 slots, these are going to be his ultra, I guess, boosted ability slots. He's going to get inside stuff for 0, tackle supreme for 1, under pressure for 1 still. And then going down a little bit further, acrobat he actually gets for 0 in this slot right here, as well as getting lurker for 0. 1 step ahead, inside shade, outside shade you probably wouldn't use on him, but if you decided to, he gets inside shade for 1, outside shade for 0, and 1 step ahead for 2. And then lastly here, he gets avalanche as a passive ability, but well, as an X factor, but as a passive ability. So it's going to be 0 AP, and you don't have to do anything to activate it besides just have him activated in your lineup, and it's 0 AP. So you're getting a free avalanche, and it's going to cost you 1 AP to run avalanche, lurk artist, and mid zone KO, which I would assume people are going to be running. But if we go ahead and take a look at these guys, his 98 overall is the card that you need to add into him to make him worth it, or well, to get him all the way boosted up to get that last avalanche ability slot. And right now, if we take a look at his price, he's selling for like 900k. It's very, very expensive for these cards right now. So it's going to cost you like 1.1 mil for each of these cards. And normally I would tell you guys, hey, don't spend 1,000,000 coins on a card, but we're getting really late into the year, and 1,000,000 coins on some of these cards could absolutely be worth it. In my opinion though, just because he's going to be, in what I feel like anyways, really clunky out there as a user, I would say stay away from him. But if you go and get him, I would completely understand it. Also, I did not mention, but he gets 49ers and Colts team chemistries. Next is going to be Anthony Edwards. We get the star NBA player in Madden, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. But his his out of position is going to be a halfback. So he's going to be 6'4", 224 pounds, 96 speed, 95 break tackle, 91 change of direction, 95 truck. This could be the start of maybe us seeing some cross sport players actually added into the game. It would have made a lot more sense for them to have most of them in this All-Star Athletes promo, but we only see 1, so maybe they do more, but I honestly would not be holding my breath for it. Here he's going to be up at a 98 overall, get 98 speed, 90 catching on him, 98 agility, so he's an absolute freak out there. But jukebox baked onto him for 0. Then if we go ahead and take a look at some of his abilities, he can get running back apprentice, all the receiving back abilities really for 0 AP right here. Also armbar, but I'm not sure if he hits that stiff arm threshold. Human joystick's going to cost you 1 AP in this slot right here, so that's, I mean, it's okay, but you'd love to see it a lot cheaper. For 87 truck, he could get tank for 1 AP in this slot. And then also human joystick down here, still 1 AP. In this slot, though, you can get human joystick on Anthony Edwards for 0 AP, which I think is one of the best running back abilities in the game, probably behind tank and maybe spin cycle on a card that actually gets the really good spin, which Anthony Edwards is 6'4", so I don't know if he gets that glitchy spin move that T'Vondre Sweat gets, because I don't know if he has to be tall and heavy. We're not exactly sure, but he does get that for 0 AP as well as spin cycle on him there. And then in this slot, he also gets tank, so you can run tank, human joystick, and angry runs. Yes, that angry runs, basically freight train on steroids, is going to cost you 2 AP in this slot, but you could run tank, angry runs, and human joystick for a total of 2 AP on your running back, and you're essentially going to have Zeus back there. Now, the only reason why I'm going to say he is not worth buying, it's really hard to say because he is 98 base speed and he gets every single team chemistry in the game, but a million coins on a running back when I feel like there's better options out there. Like you can get a really budget option for around that 500k mark in Clinton Portis, the Ring of Honor card that's going to give you all of that except for angry runs, but for 1 AP, and I think that that's really not too deep of a downgrade there, in my opinion anyways. But if you guys feel differently, obviously go out and buy the card. Now, this is the guy that I want very badly right here. Ted Hendricks, strong safety. Now, we've already talked about the fact that if you get these guys and you have 8 of them in your lineup, you get +2 height. He's already 6'7". You could have a 6'9" safety, and if you have 2 other cards in your lineup, if you have Jimmy Graham's DB card, I believe he is a strong safety, and you have oh gosh, who else is it? Tony Gonzalez. He's a cornerback, and he is also 6'7". So you could have 3 6'9" players in your lineup. I may be wrong on Tony Gonzalez's height. He may be 6'5", but you're gonna have at least 3 6'7" players out there on the field playing defensive back for you. He's going to be coming in at 95 base speed on his 95 overall item and a 96 zone coverage, but if we look at his upgrades, he's going to go up to 97 speed once you add in his 98 overall champion card, and he gets pick artist baked on him for 0 AP. Looking at some other abilities on this guy though, he's going to get 0 AP, unfakeable, outmatched on the ball, things like that. 1 AP mid zone in this slot right here. Pick artist, obviously he has for 0, but he already has it baked on, so I wouldn't go ahead and buy that. Maybe the best ability in this slot might be like Stonewall, might not be a bad option there. Secure tackler in the next slot for 1 AP, really would have loved to see it at 0 in this slot anyways. Then the same thing, medium route, mid zone KO for 1 AP, deep in zone for KO for 1 AP, and then the other abilities are not really that applicable on him, but let me check. Flat zone's also going to cost him 1 in that slot, so not ideal. In this next slot, flat zone still 1 AP. They had to make him so he was at 222 crazy juice, but deep out zone for 1 AP in this slot, as well as acrobat for 1. Film study, he does get on him for 1 AP. I believe he hits that awareness threshold there of 97, and then again mid zone KO for 1 AP, tackle supreme for 1 as well. Next slot though, these last 3 slots are usually going to be the best ones, but he gets secure tackler in this slot for 0, mid zone KO for 1, deep in zone KO for 0, and he also I lied, flat zone KO for 0 in this slot as well. Secure tackler is probably going to be your best bet there, even though he is 6'7", could be up to 6'9". Secure tackler still going to be needed with those crazy running backs going around in the game right now. In this next slot, he gets acrobat for 0, flat zone KO for 0, deep out zone for 1. Mid zone KO still going to cost you 1 AP. Deep in zone going to cost you 0 AP, and deep zone KO, which is deep in zone KO and deep out zone KO, all for 1 AP, which is a very good ability. Right now, honestly, you could run mid zone KO and deep zone KO. It's going to cost you 2 AP total, but that's going to give you basically knockouts everywhere on the field, as well as running an acrobat, so you're going to be diving for just about every pick. And then for his X factor that he gets as a passive ability, he is also going to be getting avalanche, but it is going to cost him 1 AP instead of where it was 0 AP on DeForest Buckner. Now, in my opinion, just because I'm currently running a Packers theme team, because I can get Julius Peppers, who's going to be 6'9", or 6'7", my apologies. I could get Jimmy Graham, who's going to be 6'9", and then Ted Hendricks, who's going to be 6'9". I'm personally going to say he is a pickup, but since you do have to spend a little bit of AP on him, I completely understand if you don't want to pick him up. Budget options out there that would be very similar to him, it's honestly going to be that Jimmy Graham that also dropped in this promo, as well as this Calvin Johnson, who isn't going to be too crazy far off in terms of height, but is going to give you pretty much most of the same stuff. And again, all those 98 overall cards are selling for about 900k, so it's going to cost you like 1.1 mil for each of these cards. So for me to tell you that a card is worth buying, it really needs to be worth buying, at least at this moment, because if all of these cards honestly drop to where the all-star athlete release 1 cards were at, and it costs you about anywhere from 600 to 700k a card, I would say these guys, all of them, are probably absolutely worth picking up. But for being 1.1 mil, it's very hard to say. Now, one of the glitchiest cards that dropped today is going to be the 95 overall Ed Too Tall Jones. The reason why, he is 6'9" at a wide receiver. So if you guys already have problems with getting mossed in the game, it's going to get even worse. This guy is absolutely a monster out there. So he comes with match up nightmare baked on him for 0 AP. And then in his first discounted ability slot, he's going to get jukebox for 0, spin cycle for 0, which he does get that glitchy spin because of how tall he is. Next slot, he's going to get for 0 AP, no really crazy good abilities, does get human joystick for 1, which could be nice on him, as well as jukebox. Next slot, he gets route tech in here for 2 AP, which is a good discount, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth getting in there. Tank for 1 AP in here, as well as acrobat. Next slot is going to be slotomatic for 0, or slotomatic for 1, jukebox for 0, spin cycle for 0, and human joystick for 0. You can actually get that on him, which is very nice, in my opinion anyways, to have on a receiver. Next slot and last technical ability slot is going to be able to give you tank for 0 AP. So you could go out there with human joystick, tank, and I believe there was another really good one, spin cycle, on him, all for 0 AP, and you're going to get basically the best movement out of Ed Too Tall Jones you can get. And then for his X factor, that is a passive ability, is going to be yak 'em up. Now, this has been proven in the past anyways to break double teams. So if you're out there getting, or presses at the line, my apologies, not double teams. So if you're out there getting pressed into the dirt with your wide receivers, this ability absolutely will help break those presses. So Ed Too Tall Jones, in my opinion, a 6'9" wide receiver, if he runs his routes correctly. I must put extra emphasis on that, because there is an Anthony Munoz wide receiver card that also dropped in this promo that did not run his routes great. So if Ed Too Tall Jones runs his routes great, he is absolutely, in my opinion, one of the cards that I would sacrifice that 1.1 million coins for and go out and buy. Next is going to be Charlie Ward right here. Interesting fact on this guy, he actually played football at Florida State, won the Heisman Trophy, and they just at the time were not drafting quarterbacks that we'll just say looked like him. So he ended up playing basketball in the NBA for the New York Knicks, and he now gets a card in Madden 25 Ultimate Team, which is pretty cool. It's nice to see Charlie Ward in the game. But 96 speed, 89 acceleration, 94 agility, 95 man coverage, 95 zone coverage, and a 95 press, all on his base 95 overall. 6'2", 190 pounds. He does get every single team chemistry in the game, and he is going to be coming with baked on pick artist. Now for his discounted abilities, he's going to get mid zone KO for 1 in this slot right here, as well as flat zone KO, secure tackler for 1 in the next slot, as well as mid zone and deep in zone KO. Acrobat in the 4th slot right here, it's going to cost you 1 AP to put on him, but he also does get deep zone KO in this slot for 2 AP. He is a zone archetype, so some of these discounts should be a little bit better, at least in my opinion. But then in this slot right here for 0 AP, he does get secure tackler, 1 AP mid zone KO, 0 AP deep in zone KO, and not deep zone KO in this slot. Also bench press for 0 if you care to run that. Then in the last ability slot anyways, he's going to be getting short route KO for 1, flat zone KO for 0, bench press, deep out zone and deep route KO for 1 AP, acrobat for 0, film study for 1, mid zone KO for 1 AP, deep zone KO for 1 AP, and then his X factor that is coming as an ability is going to be universal coverage, which this is essentially every single knockout in the game, man and zone combined into one ability, which is absolutely insane. But in my opinion, just because he is and this is wild to say, just because he is a 6'2" tall safety or DB in the game, and you could get him up to 6'4", he's still kind of small, if that matters to you. If the height on your DBs does not matter to you, then Charlie Ward is going to be a very, very good card. Like I said, he gets every single team chemistry in the game, but it would technically be cheaper currently to go by the 98 overall cornerback Anthony Edwards, and in my opinion, he's going to be better suited for your teams, but it's just completely up to you guys. So my apologies, I think we are getting close to the last 95 overall. But 95 overall, Calvin Johnson, out of position, strong safety. This card is a card everybody looks forward to every single year, usually around the Zero Chill promo, but this time we get him as an all-star athlete. So strong safety, Calvin Johnson right here, 6'5", 236 pounds, 96 speed, 95 acceleration, 94 man coverage, 94 zone coverage. I mean, he's just a beast. I mean, he's 6'5", 96 base speed. He goes up to a 98 base speed if you add in his 98 overall, which is absolutely insane. Obviously only Lions theme teams, but especially for him, he gets mid-zone KO on him baked on for 0 AP. It's the best defensive ability in the game, at least in my opinion, and he gets it for 0 AP. Also, in some of his discounted ability slots, since you don't have to worry about buying mid-zone KO, you can get Pick Artist in this first one for 0, as well as something like Out My Way, Spin Cycle if you want to get some glitchy returns, Tip Drill, just depends. Secure Tackler in this slot for 1 AP, Enforcer also for 1 AP, Pick Artist again in here for 0 AP. Then next, he's going to be getting Acrobat for 1 AP if you want to put that on him, and then Deep Zone KO for 2 AP. In this second to last actual ability slot, he'll get Secure Tackler for 0 AP, Deep End Zone for 0 AP, and then Inside Stuff. No outsiders. I don't think he hits that block shed threshold, but he could get it if he does. And then in this last ability slot, he gets Acrobat for 0, Deep Zone KO, which again is deep in and deep out zones. He gets those all from 1 AP. And then in the last slot, he gets Universal Coverage for 2. Now, I will say this, universal coverage, like I said, is basically all the man and the zone KOs combined into one. If you want to sacrifice your extra 1 AP and want to run universal coverage, you can do that. But as somebody like myself, and I feel like a bunch of other players, I should say, run zone coverage, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you should run as a stack on him because he already gets 0 AP mid-zone KO, run deep zone KO for 1 AP. That's going to be your 1 AP total. Put Pick Artist on him for 0, and then come in here and find a a flat zone KO also for 0 AP that you can put on Calvin Johnson. And in my opinion, running Secure Tackler, flat zone KO, mid-zone KO, which is baked on him, deep zone KO, and I already said Secure Tackler, but all of those on him for 1 AP, in my opinion, is more worth it than running universal coverage for 2. That's just because I don't want to sacrifice the AP, and I know that I'm never going to be putting him in a man-to-man situation. But if your situation's a little bit different, I understand. But in my opinion, if you're going to be spending 1.1 million on any of these cards, this guy is absolutely one of them that you should be targeting. Next, a card that I did not expect to be a linebacker. I thought he would maybe be a DB, but he is a linebacker nonetheless, is going to be Derrick Henry. He comes with baked on Avalanche for 0 AP. It's absolutely insane. But 95 overall coming in base. Obviously, he's going to be having Ravens chemistries, but also the Titans chemistries. And then for his other abilities that you could put on him, Secure Tackler for 0 AP in this first slot right here, which is nice. Mid-zone KO for 1. In the next slot, he will be getting mid-zone KO for 1 in here as well as some pass rushing abilities, Pick Artist, but you could also just put Lurk Artist for 0, which in my opinion is just going to be better. And then the next ability bucket is going to get Tackle Supreme, which again is just Unfakeable and Secure Tackler all wrapped into one. Acrobat for 1 AP as well. Then in this next slot, he does get mid-zone KO for 1 AP again, flat zone KO for 0 if you care about that, and Enforcer for 0. And then in this last and final actual ability slot, he's going to be getting Tackle Supreme for 1, Under Pressure for 1. Mid-zone KO is actually not present in this slot, which I'm surprised, so it's gonna at least cost you 1 AP to put mid-zone KO on him, but in my opinion, I'd say it's worth it. And then 2 AP dual threat on him, which this is going to basically essentially be an edge threat and lurk artist, not lurk artist, edge threat and mid zone KO on him completely. If you are using him, this is going to probably be the best ability to put on him, but in my opinion, you could run out there with Avalanche, lurk artist, and mid zone KO for 1 AP, and you've essentially got one of, if not the best linebackers in the game. Going to be very comparable to that Julius Peppers, just because of his height anyways, because Derrick Henry is not going to be as tall as Julius Peppers. He is 6'3", but if you get him on a lineup with 8 of these cards, he's going to be 6'5", and that's going to be very, very, very good, considering he also has a 92 change of direction on his base 95 overall card. What it goes up to when it's 98, I'm not exactly sure, but it's going to be very, very, very good in my opinion. So Derrick Henry, if his price comes down again to like that 700k just to build him, then I would say he's absolutely worth picking up. But for 900k for a linebacker, it's really hard for me to tell you to go out there and spend $1 million on a linebacker. And then last is going to be Larry Allen. Now, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. He gets secure tackle for 0 AP. He also gets Colossus for 2 AP. If you have the AP to spend on 2 AP Colossus, Larry Allen is worth picking up. If not, don't buy him. And it's really hard to just say that, but he's only an 89 base speed. Upgraded, he'll be a 91 base speed. Maybe you have that Cowboys item for the Emmitt Smith Cowboys item. Maybe you can get him up to 92 speed, and then maybe you have some kind of combine boost somehow for a defensive tackle. But in my opinion, it's really hard to justify picking up a 90, low to mid 90 speed defensive lineman at this point in the game, but he does have Colossus for 2 AP, and it's never going to get shut off, so that absolutely could outweigh it. But in my opinion, man, it's just really hard to spend $1 million coins on that. And again, if he dropped it down to 600 to 700k to build him completely, I'd absolutely be all for it. But as of this very moment, I am not. So that covers every single 95 overall out of position card all-star athlete in the game. Now let's go ahead and somehow, some way, get through all of these 98 to 99 overalls. I will start off at the top. Penei Sewell, I mean, he gets a good ability stack, but there's a reason that he is that low as far as coins go. Not that great. Randy Moss, over 3 million coins. Do not buy a card over 3 million coins. The only card I would recommend that's that expensive that you could probably buy is this Tavondre Sweat right behind me, and he's actually dipped all the way down to 1.46 million, and he's still probably one of, if not the best running back in the game. Just not going to get that angry runs X factor as an ability on him like some of these other new cards did. But jumping into these 98s, the reason why they're so expensive is because they're good, guys. They're very, very, very good. But coming in here at first is going to be DeForest Buckner right here. He's going to be getting baked on inside stuff and double or nothing, coming in at a 90 speed. Too slow in my opinion, but if you look at this last ability slot, he gets Colossus, but it's going to be for 3. And in my opinion, if you're going to be buying a slow defensive lineman that gets Colossus, why not go buy the one that's going to be 1 AP cheaper in 2 AP in Larry Allen? That's just my opinion completely, because I think that kind of separates him from DeForest Buckner, because he's also able to get inside stuff. I don't know if he can get double or nothing discounted, but he can get inside stuff discounted as well. And at that point, even if you have double or nothing, Colossus is going to outweigh it every single time. So I'm not going to look at all of their abilities, because I've already sat there and did that with the 95s. I felt like those were the more important cards, which is kind of weird to say, but they're the out of position ones. They're the ones that people wanted to see the most. So in my opinion, DeForest Buckner, not worth buying for 900k. Next is going to be Anthony Edwards, his actual cornerback card. Now, the one big flaw with this card is his acceleration is a 92, but he is 6'4", and I feel like 98 speed, 6'4" is going to be able to make up for it, especially if you're not somebody that's going to be pressing your DBs. I don't think that it is that big of a deal. Or if you have this guy in a slot, which I understand is wild to say for a card that's going to cost you 900k, he's going to be an absolute stud out there. But comes with baked on pick artist and 1 step ahead for 0 AP, which is usually a 3 AP ability, which is absolutely insane. And you could also get universal coverage on him for 2 AP, so you could run have every single knockout in the game, and you're going to stay on the dude's hip every single time, as well as some other abilities. If we go through the look, mid zone KO is going to cost you 1 on him, as well as deep zone KO for 2, which is surprising there. Secure tackler you can get on him for 0, mid zone KO again for 1 AP, and then mid zone again for 1 AP on him there, as well as pick artist, which he already has baked on, so don't buy that on him. But in my opinion, man, it's just really hard to justify 950k for a cornerback. I feel like you can get anywhere. I feel like if you picked up that combine Isaiah Simmons, you're not really going to notice too much of a drastic downshift in play, in my opinion, and you're going to save yourself like 700k. So that would be the route I would recommend. Right here, again, I'm going to be biased because I am currently running a Packers theme team, and this guy just looks like an absolute stud. But Ted Hendricks coming in with mid-zone KO baked on him for 0 AP at a linebacker and medium route KO as well. Then his final ability is going to be dual threat, which is, again, like we explained on Derrick Henry, is going to be edge threat and essentially a zone knockout or a man knockout anywhere on the field. Inside stuff for 1 AP, tackle supreme for 1. Those are good abilities there, as well as acrobat. And then if we look at this slot right here, he's going to get pick artist for 0, but he already should be able to get lurk artist for 0 on him, as well as double or nothing. Again, there's lurk artist right there for 0, and secure tackler for 0 AP as well. So you would get a 6'7" lurker that's out there with mid-zone KO, medium route KO, secure tackler, and if you wanted to, dual threat. But in my opinion, probably go out there and run another ability like, I don't know, maybe acrobat for 1 AP and lurk artist. So it's going to cost, that would cost you like 2 AP or 1 AP, my apologies, and you're going to get one of the best lurking linebackers in the game, again coming in at 6'7", so he is tall as all get out as well. So in my opinion, 900k still steep, but I would say he is worth buying. Next, it's going to be a lineman. Now, the reason why I would just love to skip past these linemen is because usually linemen are not good. But again, these linemen are absolutely soup because they all get Colossus. Now, he gets it for 3 AP. Really hard to justify spending 3 AP on a defensive lineman for abilities because you need so many of them on your DBs, especially now with some of these cards that drop now. This drop, while they are very, very, very good and get very, very, very good abilities, it is really, really, really hard to spend 3 AP on him, while you also would have to spend the extra 1 or 2 AP on some of these new guys because they don't get it as heavily discounted. But in my opinion, Colossus for 3 AP, is it worth it? Absolutely. But for 900k, is it worth it? Not really. Again, this 6 to 700k range that you guys have heard me babble on about this whole time, I think is just the absolute sweet spot to get a card. Now, the reason why Penei Sewell is so cheap is because we got a new quarterback in the game. Now, I will not tell you guys he is QB1 because I have not used him personally, but he comes in with Hot Route Master and Gunslinger baked on him for 0 AP. Now, that means all you really need to add on to him is going to be some version of Playmaker and Conductor on him, because you need to have fast setups at the offensive line, and then you also need to have the ability to Playmaker your receiver anywhere on the field, at least in my opinion. So gift wrap on him is going to cost 1 AP, and then again, if we looked at some of these discounted abilities, he gets Conductor for 0 AP, which is very, very, very nice. And again, we are looking for another another ability called Playmaker. So he does get Human Joystick on him as well, which is very nice, as well as Dashing Deadeye for 0 AP, Tank on him also for 0 AP there. Then if we go ahead and look in this slot right here, he's going to get Set Feet Lead for 3, Pass Lead Elite for 4, Master Tactician, which is all of those abilities we just talked about combined into 1 for 2 AP, and then the last bucket is going to be Running Gun, which is going to give you perfect pass accuracy on the run. It's basically Dashing Deadeye, but anywhere on the field. It doesn't matter. It's not just up to 40 yards. It's anywhere on the field. So in my opinion, again, it's really hard to say with quarterbacks if they're worth buying, but his price being reflected as that 900k mark means that he is still at least somewhat decent. He's more expensive than the Penei Sewell is. So in my opinion, Charlie Ward, going to be a good card. Again, I just haven't used him, so I cannot tell you guys for sure if he is worth it or not, but we'll probably have a gameplay on him. If you guys want to see that, let me know down below in the comments section. But 6'5", 236-pound wide receiver Calvin Johnson right here. Calvin's always worth getting, right? He's so good. Oh my god, the way they drop Calvin cards is so tough. All right, I'm done glazing EA. But 98 speed on him, 96 short route running, 96 medium route running, and 99 deep route running. Feel bad for anybody that had bought that top 100 ranked Calvin because he was very, very good for a long time. But this guy comes in with baked on double me. What? Baked on double me? He's a stud. I don't care. He's a stud, and he also gets angry runs on him for 2 AP. Don't even care about any of the other abilities on him, but I do want to see, yes, he gets Jukebox and Spin Cycle on him for 0, which I believe he does get the good spin since he's 6'5", and he gets Human Joystick on him for 0 as well. Now, the only thing that can make this card better is if he has Tank on him for 0 AP. I see Tank right there. If I go over there and it says 0 AP, he's the best. He's the best. I don't care. He's worth buying. No, it's 1 AP on him, so I mean, it's not like it's bad. It's obviously still very good. Now you're going to have to spend 1 AP on him to get Tank. which to some people, maybe sparing 1 AP on their receiver is not something they can really do. But you could get Jukebox, Spin Cycle, and Tank on this guy, all for 0 AP, or all for 1 AP, my apologies. Or you could swap out one of those Jukeboxes or Spin Cycles for a Human Joystick for 0 AP, which I would honestly personally do. So, in my opinion, Calvin Johnson is worth the buy in Madden 25. Next is going to be a running back. I don't want to say running back 1 because we just got that, what's this called? That AJ Dillon, but this card's going to be around the same price, and honestly not too bad. He is a big boy Derrick Henry right here. 6'3", 247 pounds, 98 speed, 95 acceleration, 94 change of direction, 99 truck, 99 brake tackle, 6'3", 247 pounds. Like I said, why I just backed out of the card, I have no idea. We've actually hit the 30-minute mark on this video. Holy crap, that we've been here for a while. But he comes with Wrecking Ball on him for 0 AP, which is a high success rate on the next 3 trucks or stiff arms. So essentially it starts on at the game, and he's just going to be a beast. I mean, he's going to be a thug out there. And then, wait, I didn't mean it like that, not in a negative way. He's just going to be a boss. And then in his last, for his X factor that he gets his ability, he's going to get Angry Runs for 2 AP on him there. And then he's going to also be able to get Bruiser in here for 1 AP, Tank for 1 AP, but he already has Tank baked on, so don't forget that. You could run Bruiser on him for 1, and Human Joystick for 0. So you get Tank, Human Joystick, Bruiser, that's going to cost you all 1 AP, and then you could throw on another 2 AP, 2 Angry Runs. Now, again, like what I said with the out of position Anthony Edwards, it is very hard to justify spending 900K on a running back because of what you currently can get in the game. But for him or Anthony Edwards, I mean, I would lean probably more Derrick Henry because he's a little bit bulkier, a little bit wider than Anthony Edwards is going to be, but Anthony Edwards is a little bit taller, so it just kind of depends on your personal preference. And then the last card right here, I'm not going to tell you guys to go spend 900K on a lineman. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. Team of the Year lineman, absolutely, you're going to do enough of this. Like, I mean, post up it all day, cool. 0 AP, cool. Secure Protector for 0 AP, very, very, very cool. Hard for me to justify not telling you to just go out there and get a lineman for half of the price that's only going to, honestly, not even half, maybe over half the price in the Landon Dickerson that's going to give you all of this, and then it's just probably going to cost you 1 AP to put Secure Protector on. It's just really hard for me to tell you guys to go do that. So, in my opinion, Larry Allen, not worth buying. Now, what I will say is usually they make him fast, and he's only like a 70 speed. Very surprised by that, especially with him being dropped in this promo. But in my opinion, Larry Allen, not worth buying. So, that is every single champion level card and all of the out of position all-star athlete hero cards in Madden 25 Ultimate Team for Release 2 in the game. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Which cards do you think I got wrong? Which cards are you more interested in hearing about? Again, let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any questions, leave them down there. I am always answering every single comment that is left to me. So, I hope you guys enjoy. That's been all for Everyone Dynamic. I'm out. Peace.